So we will continuously carry this first chapter, benefactor. So actually, this Shantideva collected Bodhisattva have 10 chapters, right? 10 chapters. So let me explain that chapter number 1 is the benefit of practicing Bodhisattva mind. So that means first Shantideva explained how to increase or how to generate or strengthen our altruistic mind or the Bodhisattva mind. But because Bodhisattva mind is not easy to realize, not easy to experience. In order to experience or to realize Bodhisattva mind, we need to practice preliminary practice. So the preliminary practice is he explained at chapter number 1. We need preliminary practices. We need to practice the smallest scope and the medium scope, and the smallest scope is based on practicing foundation, the moralities, building good foundation of moral discipline, and on the basis of good moral discipline, then you can practice, like Four Noble Truths, 12 lengths of the dependent origination, and practicing impermanence, renunciation, and all the understanding law of causality. So this is medium scope, small scope, which is preparation for increasing or generating Bodhisattva mind. So chapter number 1, that means we need to joyfully desire to practice the benefit of Bodhisattva mind. Then, when the chapter number 1 is benefit, practicing Bodhisattva mind, so because when we analyze what is the root or what is the foundation of Bodhisattva mind, then we will realize that the key, the essence of Bodhisattva mind teaching is great love and great compassion. So the great love and great compassion is very, very difficult to, it's not like ordinary love, because ordinary love and ordinary compassion is kind of like partial. But great love and great compassion is very difficult to experience, very difficult to recognize. Therefore, we need to first invite meditation object, holy object. Just like when you invite the guest, if you want to invite the king, you need to clean and make sure you clean everything and you want to impress the king. So before you invite the guest or before you invite the king, you need to do lots of preparation, either the cleaning, you do lots of things. So similarly, before you start meditation, so you need to invite all these holy objects, invitation, invite. So but before you start, you need to clean your meditation room and clean your altars, make offering, like prostrations and offering bowls, or offer incense or whatever with the pure motivation, motivation you will offer. So when you offer, you invite, then that's chapter number 2, purifying the negative karma. So you're purifying all your actions of the body, speech, negative actions of the body, speech, and mind in front of this holy object. So kind of like they are like your witness. No matter where, they are always with me, and I want to sincerely purify my actions of the body, negative actions, and then so purifying negative karma. So this is chapter number 2. So and then chapter number 3 is, so in order to purify the negative karma, you need to also purify the negative karma. So you need to practice. So we mainly practice is 7 limb prayers. It's best practice for the purification of 7 limb prayers. So you offer prostrations, offering, and confessions, and dedication, requesting, and asking Holy Wings to teach Dharma, and all these 7 limb prayers is very effective if you recite 7 limb prayers and make offerings. They are like instrument to purify your negative karma in front of this holy object. So this chapter number 3, so is kind of like required. You need instrument to practice to purify that karma. Then chapter number 4, because when you first you are thinking the benefit of Bodhisattva mind, then purifying karma, and then you need requirement like instrument like 7 limb prayers, and then you will strengthen your Bodhisattva mind, strengthen your Buddhi mind, and then make sure it will not degenerate. So that means with the mindfulness, you will sustain your practice continuously. For example, like in the bodhicitta, when we say like this, when we do prayers, like we want benefit all sentient beings, but only we can't benefit all sentient beings. Only Buddha can benefit all sentient beings. We can't, but we have potential to benefit sentient beings because we have Buddha seed, right? Buddha seed. So your Buddha seed, if our Buddha seed is dominated by bodhicitta mind, this altruistic mind, then because of the power of bodhicitta mind, directly or indirectly oppose destructive emotions, indirectly oppose the negative emotions anyway, right? If the mind is dominated by, for example, like negative thoughts, right? Then we are unable to see that clear nature of mind, isn't it? So kind of like you cannot separate this water and mud, mixed together. So you see the water and muddy water, but you can't separate this mud from the water. It's possible, because the mud is not nature with the water. The water nature is completely clear. Right? So we will separate it, muddy water. So its mind is dominated by negative thought. It's just like muddy water. But there's potential you will separate this mud and completely see the pure water, right? So similarly, we have Buddha seed. We have nature Buddha's mind. So if that is dominated by bodhicitta mind, we will develop this Buddha mind, which is awareness and mindfulness together. So combine this together. combined with the mindfulness, with the awareness, is kind of like introspection. So making your mind 2 point, right? One, you're concentrating on your practice, and one point of mind is watching, your mind, whether your mind is going to right direction or the wrong direction, whether your mind is dominated by negative thought or the negative emotion. So making your mind 2 pinpoint means one, focusing on the object of your practice. For example, like if you're meditating on the Bodhisattva mantra, you're focusing on the Bodhisattva mantra. At one point you're watching, make sure that your Buddhi mind is not decreasing, and make sure this other negative mind is not coming during meditation period. So that's why chapter number 5 is introspection and the mindfulness combined together. And chapter number 6 is then practicing patience, like not to get angry. So this is the one chapter. Patience is a very long chapter. This is one of the most important practice of the Bodhisattva mind. And then 7 is joyful effort. And then 8 is chapter number. So sorry, the chapter number. Chapter number 1 is benefit of Bodhisattva mind. Number 2, purifying negative karma. Number 3 is requirement or instrument of practicing. Number 4 is carefulness. Number 5 is mindful and awareness. Number 6 is 6 will explain the more details of the morality. Okay, 6, right? And 7 is patient. 8. So now 6. No, I did not make a mistake. Well, number 6 is patient, right? Number 7 is joyful effort, right? 8 is meditative concentration, and 9 is wisdom. 10 is dedication chapter. So, okay, now let me explain this one. First, we will read this. We are here now. There is nothing here that has not been said before, not to do. I have any skill in composition. Thus I have no concern for the welfare of others, and I have composed this solely to season my own mind. So when Shantideva composed this text, have there's four divisions, right? Purpose. What purpose? Number 1 is purpose, and number 2 is subject. Number 3 is goal. Number 4 is relationship. So, what purpose and what is the subject of this topic, and what is the goal and relationship. Four. Whenever master compose the authentic text, must have these four categories of the sections. Purpose. The purpose of composing these texts is he said, I'm not. All the subjects are based on Buddha's teaching, so like Holy Buddha's teaching. So it's based on Buddha's teachings. But he will make more, he will explain, make summary, making essence teachings. So I'm not making up, it's based on Buddha's teaching. But maybe, so it's kind of like he will reduce his pride when he composing the text, right? So purpose of this, usually purpose of composing this text is to people can learn, then you can think, then you can meditate, and you will experience the subject of this text, right? Purpose. And number two is subject, isn't it? Subject. So subjects are mainly on two, wisdom and method, right? Two points. Wisdom and method. So main subject is wisdom and method. And goal is temporary goal or ultimate goal, right? So temporary goal is temporarily, if we study the text, temporarily if we heard about the teaching about the Shantideva, it will help you to make more peace, making more peace, because with all the 84,000 teachings, those teachings kind of like antidote to our problem. So it's just like, for example, like you may good doctor, you go to see the doctor, and doctor may give you prescription medicine to different sickness. There's so many different types of sickness, not only one, So Buddha is just like doctor, giving information about teaching. 84,000 teachings are just antidote or related to our daily problems. So this ultimate goal is to purify our mind, right? To achieve enlightenment. And so relationship, right? So there are two types of relationship, right? Relationship between cause and effect. Relationship, sameness relationship, right? Do you know sameness relationship? Sameness relationship. So, relationship between cause and effect and sameness relationship is kind of like now this first purpose related to the subject related to the goal related, goal like that, So this. So when we compose this, and then next is owing to the power of my faith increase to cultivate virtues moreover, if someone else with disposition like my own example, this it may be meaningful. So Shantideva said. Maybe someone who is following similar like me, maybe this text can help to understand Bodhisattva mind, and so he said he will give more details, identifying the Bodhisattva mind. So he will give more details and effect of the Bodhisattva mind. So and then leisure and endowment, which are so difficult to obtain, have been acquired, and they bring about the world. If one fails to take this favorable opportunity into consideration, how could this occasion occur again? So this is the precious human rebirth, right? Precious. So it's like we have, so he's Shantideva reminding us we have precious human rebirth. So we have to utilize this precious human rebirth or as a course to achieve this precious human. Everyone has not precious human rebirth. So it should be free from 10 freedom and 8 endowment. So many people have not precious human rebirth. So we have precious human rebirth. So we will use this precious human rebirth for the good purpose. So means good purpose is develop bodhicitta mind. Generating bodhicitta mind is good purpose. Helping other sentient beings directly or indirectly. So if you're possible, then you will help at least not hurt other sentient beings, because this is you can take this good opportunity to good things. Now here, next is, now we have chapter is the more details of bodhicitta mind. So here we have explanation of the benefit of the before enlightenment. Right now it's coming from text. So we have first 4 divisions. Okay, we make divisions and then we go with the text. First with explanation of the benefits of the wish for enlightenment. Second is identifying just the wish for enlightenment is. The third is the presentation of the reason why this benefit occurs with the wish for enlightenment or the bodhicitta. Then fourth is word impress for person who are practicing the bodhicitta mind. Four divisions. Number 1, explanation of the benefit of the wish for enlightenment has 3 sections. So number 1 is how the wish has power to destroy bad deeds and to accomplish all good deeds. Number 2 is how those who achieve the wish attain an exceptional name as well as the point the point of the name. And number 3 is metaphor or example which are used to explain the benefit. Now number 1 is how the wish has power to destroy all bad deeds and accomplish all good deeds. These are 3 sections, right? Number 1 is how the wish has power to destroy great bad deeds. Number 2 is how it has the power to accomplish the highest form of happiness. And number 3 is how it has the power to bring about anything you might ever wish for. How the wish has the power to destroy great bad deeds. So this will come here. Text. Just as lightning illuminates the darkness of the cloudy night for an instant, in the same way, by the power of Buddha's occasional people's mind are momentarily inclined toward the merit. Thus, virtue is perpetually ever too feeble, while the power of wise great and extremely dreadful if there were no spirit of perfect awakening. What other virtue would overcome it? So this will come with how the wish has power to destroy great bad deeds. This section is coming up. Now here, let me explain first. Because as I mentioned before, we are not Buddha, but we have potential to achieve the Buddha. It sounds like Buddha is too far for us, right? But if we continuously practice bodhicitta mind, then we are getting closer to the Buddha, enlightened. So in order to do this, first we need to summarize these 6 courses with the reverse order, 6 courses with the reverse order. So it means 6 courses of bodhicitta mind and 6 cause and result bodhicitta mind, isn't it? Generally speaking, right? Or you can say if you counted equanimity, then 7 cause and result bodhicitta mind. So generally speaking, 6 causes and result bodhicitta mind. So this cause, reverse order. Reverse order means that means superior thought is the direct cause of bodhicitta mind, isn't it? So bodhicitta mind arises from the superior thought. The superior thought arises from the great compassion, isn't it? Great compassion arises from the great love. So great love arising from the recollecting, remembering the kindness of others. Remembering the kindness of others arises from the repaying the kindness of others. So repaying the kindness of others arises from the seeing all beings as a mother. Seeing all beings as a mother arises from the equanimity. Equanimity arises from compassion. Now we have to go like that. This is kind of like reverse order, you know. What is special thought, right? Now that makes special thought is great love is special responsibility to help the others, giving happiness to others. Right? Great compassion is special responsibility to eliminate the suffering of others. So these are very special thought, you know. It's not like ordinary thought, you know. Ordinary thought is partial, you know. So special thought, right? So when you see therefore the compassion, generally speaking, that compassion focus on, you know, persons, negative circumstances, right? Then you feel compassion, right? And love focus on positive things such as happiness for others. Generally speaking, right? Compassion focus on negative circumstances, then you feel compassion, right? And the love focus on positive things such as happiness, you know, something like that. But when we talk about the topic in this topic, when we are talking about compassion, it is not something like that. This kind of compassion is seeing all beings very attractive, you know, and loving kindness, affectionate loving kindness, just like mother love her child. This kind of love is the greatest love in this world, right? Of course, there are ugly relationship between parents, but generally speaking, nature of parent is kindness, you know, pure, you know. But at some point, there are ugly relationship between parents, but generally speaking, that nature of parent is pure, you know, pure. So mother love her own child is the greatest love in this world, greatest affectionate love. So the great compassion is seeing all beings very attractive, you know, seeing all beings very attractive. So seeing all beings very attractive is not partial compassion. It is not mixed with attachment or something like that, isn't it? So this kind of compassion. So the object of compassion is very important. The Chandrakirti said he didn't master compassion. In the beginning, compassion is very important. In the middle, compassion is so important. At the end, compassion is very important. Just like seed, beginning seed, very important. In the middle, fertilizing is very important. At the end, you will get the fruit. So similarly, if at the beginning when we are practicing, the compassion is kind of foundation, very important practice of bodhicitta mind, right? Which is foundation of bodhicitta mind, which means great compassion, seeing all beings as very attractive. That means, generally speaking, we have this kind of feeling, right? When somebody very kind to you, when somebody show you more affectionate, when somebody help you, then we feel very close, we feel compassion to these people. But when somebody like, how can I extend this compassion to the enemy, because hurting me and nothing helping me, instead of helping me, hurting me. So this is the point. We will discourage with difficulty time, with difficult. How can I generate compassion? How can I extend my compassion to this enemy, hurting me, nothing helping me? This is why this reverse order, then we give you understanding that just time different, Right now enemy, but maybe can be your friend. Who knows in the future it can become your best friend, So it's kind of like it is kind of like thinking there's no permanent enemy, no permanent friend, no permanent stranger. Use this kind of logic. Enemy is not permanent because enemy is changing. Friend is not permanent, friend is changing. And stranger is not permanent, it's fluctuating all the time. So, I experience, we all experience, friends changing to friends changing enemy, enemies changing enemy. Oh. If you use this kind of reason, logic, right? Maybe this will help you to, maybe I can extend my compassion to this, because the time is different, same, So at the beginning, compassion is very important, isn't it? This great compassion is just like seed. You need seed, right? When you are carrying your practice, you need strength of the compassion. Because if you lose the strength of the compassion, you will lose the practice. Because there are so many nasty people, People hurt you, people abuse you, you will lose the practice. If you strengthen your practice, like at the middle, you are carrying the, how can I say, the power of compassion. And then you may not lose your practice. Otherwise, when people abuse you, people hurt you, then you lose the compassion. When you lose the compassion, you lose your practice, right? When you lose your practice, what happens, isn't it? You are making long distance to achieve the realization. So you're not getting close to achieve your realization. Plus, isn't it? So if you think more, if you think more wider perspective, right? You're thinking maybe long-term, perspective, and carrying this practice, sustain your compassion while you are having difficult time. You will try to not lose the energy of compassion. You will strengthen, carry, just like you're fertilizing your seed. You have seed, you need to fertilize the seed. So you're fertilizing your practice with compassion and this affectionate loving kindness. You will carry. At the end, it's compassion is very important, isn't it? So just like you get the fruit, like plant the seed and fertilizing the seed, and you get the fruit, right? A certain amount of fruit. Similarly, the compassion is the cause of Buddha, Buddha. In Latin, Buddha is nirvana. We call nirvana. Nirvana is peace of mind, cessation of suffering. So the Buddha nirvana is, we call non-abiding nirvana. Because non-abiding nirvana, because Buddha's nirvana neither fall into the extreme of samsara nor fall into the extreme of bliss. Buddha's nirvana is called non-abiding nirvana, means to cut the extreme, not falling into the samsara, not falling into the bliss. The bliss, then you kind of like enjoy and you will not help other beings. So Buddha's nirvana, non-abiding nirvana, so the compassion is the cause of non-abiding nirvana. Just like we plant the seed, we fertilize the seed, we get the fruit. So similarly, we have seed of compassion, right? So we need to fertilize this seed with this loving kindness, and then we will get the result, isn't it? So this is what we are talking about, how the wish has the power to destroy great bad deeds. Even when you develop compassion, isn't it? Compassion is just like cooling your mind, isn't it? If your mind is very disturbed, right? If you're thinking, negative, your mind is kind of like you plant the seed. Habit used to be, if you change that to the compassion, we can do like that. Similar, you try to familiar our mind with the compassion. It's like, people who are playing boxing, people who really playing boxing, they are hurt, but they still, doing this because of fame, because of money, because they're doing this. Similarly, we can do this because we see the goal, right? The goal is really you want happiness. Goal is you want peaceful mind, peaceful, healthy body, healthy mind. Right? This is our goal, temporary goal, isn't it? Ultimate goal is to achieve enlightenment. Temporary goal, if you are not, if the mind is peace, better, isn't it? Just like better. Everything very clear, when the mind is kind of like negative. Even delicious food can't taste. Even you see everything in the people, you see all are negative because the mind is polluted by these disturbing emotions. So compassion directly opposes, or indirectly or directly opposes all these negative emotions. Cool down, isn't it? Temporarily helping for us. It helps you, and not only you, as well as your relative, your neighbor. You make happy. If you are very aggressive, very selfish, self-centered, people don't like very selfish person. If there's compassion, really, I feel very comfortable with these people, very compassionate people. You can feel sometimes with them. So similarly, so this is how the wish has power to destroy great bad deeds. It will destroy your, because we don't know how much negative karma we create, right? This is very important, right? Because we don't know today how much we negative karma created. How can we calculate yesterday? How can we calculate last week? Last month? Impossible, right? So what happened is, if you think about last week, it's possible. But generally speaking, if you think and focus on bodhicitta mind, because object of bodhicitta mind is limitless sentient beings. Just thinking, this will dispel your past negative karma, present and future. So that's why Bodhisattva we have power to destroy great bad. Any questions?
Geshe, is there a difference in the purification of studying emptiness than actually studying and doing bodhicitta? Is there the same amount of merit, or is different?
I think both need both combined together. Bodhicitta. Because the Bodhicitta mind opposes the self-judging mind. Emptiness mind opposes the grasping mind. So these two are great major obstacles. We have two greatest enemies, so which is self-judging mind and grasping mind. Practicing Bodhicitta mind opposes self-judging mind. Practicing emptiness opposes the grasping mind. Right? So these two, both are very powerful. We need both to purify the karma. So because in fact all teaching, all negative comes to these two points, self-judging mind and grasping mind. So these two, Bodhicitta mind and emptiness, entitude, self-power and power. Thank you.